teamwork. With that, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to continue getting more dynamic thoughts. Well, up next, our speaker, who's also a stalwart of the Indian logistics industry, someone who started his career as a college professor and then went on to build a logistics conglomerate, besides having interests in many other sectors such as hospitality, education, and training. Kerry Indev is today one of the leading and largest logistics service providers in India and a strategic partner of the Asian giant Kerry Logistics Network in India. While we all know that Kerry Indev has won many prestigious awards and certifications for its services, Dr. Britto, Dr. Xavier Britto, who's also the chairman of Kerry Indev Logistics, has also been bestowed with multiple accolades, and the latest being Doctor of Literature honoris causa by Vistas in recognition of his eminence and attainments in the field of logistics and his philanthropic work. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a thunderous round of applause for our next speaker, none other than Dr. Xavier Britto.
At the outset, I thank the Almighty and my parents for this wonderful day. The great personalities on the stage and off the stage, my best wishes to all of you. My congratulations to Mr. Modi and his team to have completed the 10th year. I always tell him that Modi is a person, is quite sincere in conducting everything and making it more professional year on year. Thanks a lot, Mr. Modi, for having given this opportunity. Of course, I come from a very small village down south, Tamil Nadu, and my parents had 12 children, and I was the 8th one, and mother was a teacher, my father was a clerk. They could not do anything else except giving us the best possible education. I still remember those days. My parents used to struggle to give us 3 meals in a day because too many children. But then I got educated in Jesuit institution wherein I learned the discipline, honesty, and integrity. And later on, it helped in my business life. But of course, I studied in St. Joseph's where our late President Abdul Kalam studied. For the first time, I saw Chennai as a city when I came for my post-graduation MCOM in Loyola College. It was quite tough because all along I studied only in Tamil medium. To cope up with English was very bit tough. But then I got my university rank in MCOM, and later on, I was absorbed as a professor in Loyola College for a year. It is always said that God's ways are very strange. When I was almost studying and preparing and passed out my prelims and finals in UPSC exam, I thought in our generations, we never had business people. And at that time, I had a brief stay in a shipping company. And I decided to start a small outfit in Lingichetti Street with about 5 people, 20,000 rupees in the year 1984. Now it's almost three and a half decades of my business life. The most conventional period I was in, the first mantra I could say is that if you could add a pinch of salt to your food, it becomes delicious. You could be intelligent, talented, but you need to add the pinch of salt that is nothing but your hard work. And that will make your life more successful. So I would say the first mantra is that you don't have to have the background. You don't have to have the money. What you need to have in your life is the focus, which of course I learned it from my mother for her determinations. And starting with 5 people, and I had a very second-hand motorbike. I still remember my Rajdoot. Then I moved on to in Suzuki. Then I moved on to Yamaha. Then finally I had my Bullet before buying my second-hand ambassador car in the year 1994-95. But then I felt after 1992, India is progressing in a different fashion, and we need to equip ourselves with all-inclusive services, and I started thinking in a different way. And today, dear friends, the best mantra, I would say, my success is due to my best team and their best spirit. And thanks to all my staff in our group. And from 5 people, today, we have 6,000 employees directly employed, with, of course, having the right partnership with Kerry Indev to become global logistics player. It is always said that never think you have nothing. Never think you have everything. Always think you have something to achieve, anything. This has been my mantra in my life. And it has been a very, very tough journey. Each and every step I had to plan. And of course, I believed in a very calculated roadmap. The second important mantra, which could always be there in my mind, is that I never bothered about the failures. Rather, I was inspired by the failures all the time. And that gave me, of course, confidence. It is said that when you take the problem, you are under pressure. When you take the problem, you're all the time bothering about it. But I always take the problem as a challenge. That gives me confidence and to fight it out. And that has been my journey. And the third one, the important thing which everyone knows about it, is that I always challenge my comfort zone. I never stopped as a simple CHA, which I started in 1984. Once the bees were asked, you are accumulating so much of honey, but then the human beings are stealing that. And bees beautifully replied, they can steal my honey, but not the art of making honey. I always wanted to be proactive and innovative in my approach. It is said that competitors can copy you in your style, in your work, in your procedures, but they can never copy your passion, and I'm passionate about this logistics. And you would see that this passion makes me more happy. That is the reason why in 94 we were one of the pioneers in starting the private CFS. And I was the first one to get the permission to move the import boxes to outside CFS. And then, of course, 2009, I promoted the idea of the private air freight station. It was a long struggle. And in fact, I sat with the board member to make the SOP to ensure that this AFS station come into our country, and we were the first one to got the license. It took almost 7 to 8 years, and now we are the first air freight station in India, in Iringattukote, in our ICD to move the ULD boxes from the aircraft directly and also to go through all the formalities. So this is the concept which we really gave it to the government. And we were the first one for our private sector, the ECCT along with LG and IBM about 4.5, 5 years back to have got the AUO certification. And 3 years back, we were the first people to get AUO certification for international freight forwarding, custom brokers job, and also for all our CFSs and ICD. And that helps a lot of multinational companies, particularly for their overseas security arrangements. So this has given us a lot of confidence. Then comes, we were the last couple of years back, we were the first private sector to have been awarded Certificate of Merit by the International Customs. Our late finance minister gave away this award. And these are the milestones we have crossed. And furthermore, when everybody was worried, even in Mundra port, when I was discussing about the free trade zone, nobody came forward. 3 years back, we got the land from them, and we created the free trade zone warehouse in Mundra, and today, more clients have come in, it is more successful. And lastly, I have to say, everyone will have to have positive situation in the negative, positive thinking, positive attitude in the negative situation. If you have that, you don't have the fear. I always find positive meaning in the negative words. When somebody says fail, I will say, first learning, I would say, first attempt in learning, that is fail. When somebody uses the word end, I would say, effort never dies. If I go to any client, if they say no, I coin the word for no, next opportunity. This is how I had seen the negative situation with our positive attitude. And above all, when you are trying to be successful in life, we have to give back to the society. That is very, very important. Mother Teresa beautifully said, one can do great things in life, but what is required is please do small things with great love. We created educational institutions in my mother's name because my mother was a teacher for 35 years and ensured that even my drivers' children got the best education. And in fact, I made sure my son and daughter studied in the same school. And you must believe, my daughter was a classmate of my car driver. And that is why she's so simple and humble and understand the problems of the underprivileged. We have adopted more than 20 villages and creating a lot of sustaining opportunities for those people. And I thought this country has to have logistic education in a structured fashion. 6 years back, I sat down, I spent a lot of time, worked out 8 important jobs, and created 16 subjects in logistics. With humanities added about 18 subjects, totally 24, and formed the curriculum. Even today, the universities have started following that curriculum. Most of the universities, particularly in Tamil Nadu, with 24 subjects, BBA logistics. Also with the intensive coaching and training on the job, we have created MBA logistics. And I'm sure I really have the vision that this logistic industry, the way in which it's growing, the way in which the employment opportunities are there, we require a lot of skilled people, and this logistic education and this curriculum will grow. And I would like to create, in fact, I've already talked to HRA Ministry, to create an independent university for logistic education so that whatever best I could contribute, we can always contribute. Today, Kerry Indev has got all the services under one roof from A to Z with our latest acquisition of courier company and courier parcel service. We are in a position to give the last mile connectivity also. So my dear friends, let us have the passion for this industry. I know there are many stalwarts here who have come up in a hard way, and we will make sure that this industry grows in a positive way, provides a lot of employment, and we will make an endeavor, as our Prime Minister said, to reduce the overall logistics cost, which will have a tremendous impact on our GDP and which is important in today's slowdown period. Thank you very much, Mr. Nikhil Modi.